Hey y'all, what's up y'all? We are now back live. Be sure you like, share, subscribe, and tell all your friends so they can tune in live daily to God and KD. I'm like, happy over Sunday, y'all. Definitely a happy Sunday. Hope y'all are staying warm. It's nice and chilly here in Florida. And I'm like, it's time for another car chat with KD. So grab your trees, grab your snacks, whatever the case may be. Y'all know y'all got to bring their own trees to the function because you never know what people may have. I mean, I have no stuff that you like. So make sure that you bring your stuff, all right? But happy December 29th. Happy birthday to everybody that's born today. Shout out to all the Capricorns, because it's definitely Capricorn season. Y'all know the Bible verse of the day is always in the description as well as the chat. And the Bible verse of the day is coming from John 12:29. And it does say, when the crowd heard the voice, some thought it was thunder, while others declared an angel had spoken to him. Amen. 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 So boom, I'm like, let me lock myself up in here because, child, I don't play and I always got to be safe. Because, y'all, I want to have a nice car chat today. Y'all know I've been really in the car chat mood. Y'all know I have a podcast. I love running my mouth. I was most talkative as my scene, superlative, most dramatic, child, biggest ego, all of that stuff. So we here to make it make dollars and cents. Also, make sure you shop my merch. I do have on my creative hat today. If you're a creative entrepreneur, anyone that wears trucker caps, like I said, we got some customs. Make sure that y'all shop www.curatedbykd.com. KD being me, your divine cosmic cousin, divine cosmic cheerleader, all things divine. Okay, so what we're here for, y'all, is some after Christmas mess. And this is why I'm glad. If y'all have not seen my Christmas vlog with my family, it was a live stream because it wasn't a vlog because it wasn't edited. It was live. So y'all can see everybody, even the family that I just met that day on Christmas. You can see it on my live. And that's why I be glad when I do go hang around my family so y'all can put a face to a name because I be talking about people. So I'm like, the people that I'm talking about, because I'm not the type of person that's going to remember the names that I'm changing them to and all that kind of stuff. These people know what they did. When I tell my stories, I tell what I did, and I'm just telling the facts of the matter of the stories, okay? Sometimes I may be wrong, and people could correct me if I'm wrong, but don't lie. And when people lie, that's what we can't get G with. But yeah, check out the video so you can kind of put a face to a name of who's who, because it's definitely about my grandma, and I definitely made sure she came in front of the camera. So, because baby, Big Glow is something else. Because Big Glow, child, that's where I get my top pick from the bottom of the map. Because I'm Big Glow grandbaby. Because baby, one thing about it, my grandma is gone. Oh my God, find herself into some mess. But thank God for this day. Thank God for letting us be here. Thank God for protecting over us, watching over us, covering us with the cloak protection for the blood of the Lamb. Thank God for blessing the hands that prepared this. Thank God for letting it be a good consumption and nourishment to my body. Amen. Because these definitely expire. Child, in the next few days, these on the 31st, these expire. So yeah. Let's get to them. Okay. So, first things first, concerning the family drama. Like I said, a large part of it is definitely about my grandma. We're going to get into it. But I kind of got into it with my stepdaddy today, and I don't like that. Y'all know I don't like stuff like that. So I'm like, tell me, am I wrong before we get into Big Low? Because, so I went in the kitchen around noontime. I hadn't eaten. And I'm just like, now I done waited all morning. And I hate to say it like that, but that's just what it is. Cause okay, I'll say I debated and waited. So I'm debating if I'm gonna get up and actually cook some breakfast. I'm waiting to see if anyone else in the house, see my mama want to cook some breakfast or something like that. It's the holidays, she off. I'm like, let me just, stay out of the way, baby. Let her do her thing. That's just what I'm thinking. So by the time noon comes and I realize, so ain't no breakfast coming, I'm like, okay, so I could do a little brunch if I wanted to, but I really don't feel like, making brunch. But it was a consideration. So I'm like, well, child, if anything I can make me a little spicy noodle bowl and, some peanuts and the seafood boil that I like to do. Just make me a nice little snack-a-dack until I feel like making dinner tonight. Because I feel like it's Sunday spaghetti would be good tonight. So I'm like, I'm not going to worry about making brunch because I feel like I'm going to make dinner tonight. So I go in the kitchen and my stepdad is like, oh, he said, are you about to cook? I said, no. Look. No, because I'm like, is that how it went? I'm almost certain that's what it was, because he was just like, yeah, he was like, you about to cook? No, he said, you about to cook breakfast? And I said, no. And I was like, why? You want some? And he was like, niggas is hungry. Like, niggas around here is hungry. Like I said, child, it's noon time. I'm hungry too. So like, I get it. All right. So like I said, I was like, are you? No, yeah, child. And then, cause I'm like, I hate that I never come to y'all when it happens, so I can tell y'all exactly play by play what happened. Cause now I'm having to remember. Cause once I smoke and don't give a no more, it don't matter. But I do just want to give y'all side of the side of what's going on. Okay, cause I'm like, let me think. Cause I'm like, how did we get to him just saying don't worry about it? Um, cause yeah, he was just like, are you about to cook breakfast? And I was like, no. And then he was like, what you about to cook? And I was like, something that you don't want, because like he always talk about my TikTok meals, my spicy noodle bowls. He don't, cooking with Kai in his search bar, child. That's what he want. Like that. So that ain't happen. His wife ain't even like that. What the hell you spending that for me for? So yeah, so yeah, I was just like, I just kept saying like, do you want? No, basically I'm just saying like, what do you want for breakfast, or like what is it that you would want? Because some of the stuff that he eats, I don't even know how to make. Like he be eating corned beef hash. I don't eat that. He be eating omelets. I don't eat that. Now his wife, my mother, will cook those things, but I don't eat that. I don't cook that. And I'm not Mrs. Big Rock, so that's part of the reason why I don't be caring to feed nobody. That's really what it is. I be like, John, you always harassing me. Harris Mrs. Big Rock about this. Because I'm tired of being harassed about this. Because I'm in here at noon trying to make myself something because I'm hungry. Now, I understand you're not yourself when you're hungry. And that's probably why we're going to do it. Take that up with your wife. Take it up with your wife. Now, I know she got her own issues because her mama wasn't even there to raise her. That's why I'm like, we about to talk about her mama in a little bit, in just a moment. But, I don't already got into a yelling match with him. You're not my wife. You're right. I know that. You don't have to keep telling me that. That's strange. We got into an argument because she won't put another Coca-Cola in the refrigerator after she take one out. I just feel like, child, I don't know. I do it because I've worked in the industry of FIFO, first in, first out. So it's just like, I know if I'm going to the refrigerator to grab a Coca-Cola or water, whatever the case may be, something as a single individual that we have in excess of, that is literally just a rotation of cold to use. Mama, I shouldn't have to tell people that's 50 plus this. You knew when you went to go pick it up and you walked past the hot ones. Like, go back to the refrigerator and put them hoes back in there. But your husband always want to harass me when he see me going to replace the one that I'm going to get. Pick more than that. Are you saying that to the one that's not picking up anything, that's leaving the refrigerator empty? Don't say nothing to me. And that's why I get into it with them people, because you just like, you can't be serious. But they be serious. And it's because it's called avoidance. That's what it is. I'm like, I've been looking for the word of what it is and why people get on my nerves. It's just like, I'm like, you need to want to be a better person every day. There's no way you can't think that you're at your best. What I need to say, I'm like, I'm glad I got my phone right here. God is good, and I'm glad I actually listened and he told me to bring it, because I want to say it exactly how the person said it on the internet. So, it says, and I'm glad it's boom, it's right here. I need to favorite this too. It says, most people have created a false sense of self when in their mind they're a good person and they don't do anything wrong. So when you tell them they did something wrong or cause a complication in your life, they don't want to feel shame. So instead of acknowledging what they've done to you, they either avoid it or they shift blame, because people don't like to take accountability these days. So I'm like, who? Oh, that's what I'm saying. Who is that? But yeah, I'm like, that's exactly what it is. I'm like, I knew it was something deeper than people not wanting to take accountability. I knew it was, like I said, I knew it was something other than denial, ignorance. Like, but I could not figure out what the word was. And when I saw someone said that it was avoidance, I was like, that's definitely what it is. Because someone also said, society wants us to be civil about injustice. And that is another great way to put it. Just like not just society, but yeah, but society, because society kind of trickles down to the umbrella of everything else. It's like society expects you to be civil about injustice. So in your home, your family that feels like the government is always right in the rules that they make, they feel like that you have to be civil about injustice. And that's how people often get abused in just in general, outside of just in life, whether it's physical, mental, verbal, emotional, spiritual, financial. Abuse comes in several different forms. Oh, literally. And it's crazy the various types of abuse there are that people actually use as everyday tactics. Like, and that's what makes it hard for me to deal with people, because it's just like, why do you think that's okay? Why do you think that's okay? And that's why I be thinking a lot of people are demons. Because as a child of God, there's a certain point where you get to a certain type of discernment, and you know what it is, and you know what it ain't, and you know what it shall be. Simple as that. So when people aren't like that, for me, especially someone that is a direct, I'm very direct. That's why I got into it with my stepdaddy, because I am a direct individual. Like, instead of asking me what I'm making and all these other questions that don't matter, why don't you just say, you know, like, you want to make some French or whatever he want, like whatever the breakfast is that he was thinking, that he was asking me was I making, that I was not making. But like I said, I was thinking about it, but at the same time, I was just moving on later in today, because I'm like, if I'm gonna cook dinner, then I don't want to cook breakfast. That's why I was like, I'm gonna just snack on something right now and then cook later. But that's why I said, then when he came to me, he was like, are you cooking? Excuse me. I'm like, well, give me something in mind, like, of what you're thinking, and maybe that'll make my stomach senses be like, yeah, that's what we want. But yelling at me, being passive aggressive, and not being direct about it is about what you want. Because my question is, like, you could have just answered the question. Even okay, instead of, because again, he didn't even have to say, you know, you can make breakfast or something like that. He could have just answered the question. Do you want breakfast? Yes or no? You don't have to do nothing else except answer yes or no. So my next question, like I said, it was just like, well, do you want breakfast? And I think that's when he said, niggas is hungry. Like, duh, okay, but like, sure, like, because clearly that's why I'm in the kitchen about to cook something for myself, because I'm hungry too, because your wife ain't cooked nothing. So what up? Like, yeah, I'm hungry. So yeah. And then that's when I think I went into, so what do you want? Like, what would you want for breakfast? And it was, so what did you come in here to make? And it's like, you're not going to eat that. I came in here to make fucking noodles. Like, I came in the kitchen to make noodles. You don't want no noodles. So when I'm at, because like I said, when your first question was I making breakfast? And I answered no. So when I ask you, and we get to the question of, so what do you want? And you don't give me a meal, you decide at that point, oh, don't worry about it. So now you'd rather be hungry than to just say what it is that you would want when I'm actually in the mood to actually do it. And that's why he ended up being hungry. Because instead of just answering me, you got in your feelings. Because I don't like that you was in my business. Because whatever I was doing don't have nothing to do with your hunger. Because like I said, like you said, am I making breakfast? No. If you knew in your mind that you wanted breakfast or whatever it was, I don't give a damn if you this nigga want a filet chicken sandwich or whatever the case may be. My business ain't got nothing to do with nobody. I'm talking, and then don't question me about, and I know I'm the type of person to, like, I'm not gonna say I pry people's business, cause I don't care. I'm doing it to be annoying. I'm doing it just to annoy you. Like, if I walk in the room and be like, what you doing? Knowing that you clearly watching the TV or knowing that you playing the game, I'm doing it just to annoy you. I'm doing it just to talk, just because there's nothing else for me to do. So, you know, I'm annoy you just for a little bit before I gotta go back into my own solitude. Like, I'm annoy you just for my own little entertainment, just for a little bit, because I retreat to myself 23 and a half hours out of the day. So yeah, you finna be my entertainment for a good 15, 30 minutes at the most. But when people be prying into my business, it's because they actually like want the answer. Like me, I'm asking rhetorical questions. That's how that's how it's like annoying. Like, these people literally be asking questions for an answer, and it's just like, when it comes to my business, don't ever question me about nothing. About what I'm making, what I'm doing, nothing. I don't know. Oh, I know why. Cause I know it's not as positive as the support or whatever the question may seem. That's why. Because, oh yeah, since we talk about family drama, because that's something that I thought about too. I really thought about the fact that I really be feeling some type of way, and that's why my parents can't, like, don't ask me, don't question me about nothing, because I don't like that my parents like won't come to my entrepreneur events or anything like that. But when it comes to somebody else's child in another city or something like that, like, they be all gung-ho for it. Like, my god brother put in the family group chat that he was running a marathon or something like that. And I'm just thinking about the fact that every time he runs a marathon, my parents get up and go to another city to support him in a marathon. But when I'm doing an event, a community event to enrich my community, to not be one of the most boring and most horrible cities in all of the United States, my parents don't show up. So I be feeling a little slighted about stuff like that. And that also is definitely what affects our relationship a lot, because it's just like, sometimes I be like, well, I didn't have to be so mean to them like that, or maybe I could just answer them. But at the same time, like I said, I'm realizing now that when I'm being questioned, I'm being monitored. It's not just a question to be supportive, to because even the whole, like, are you cooking breakfast, like that, it wasn't something just to leave it alone. It was so I could do something for the person that was asking me. It was yeah. I'm like, I don't know. It's so strange. It's so strange. And that's why I come on here and we had these car chats, because I'm like, I'm trying to be a better person every day. I know that I'm going through my spiritual rebirth, and expressing it in this manner is part of it, because I have to remember things as they happen. Like, even when I got into it with my stepdad, my Holy Spirit was definitely telling me, like, you need to go ahead and have this conversation now. But I decided that I was going to smoke and calm my nerves. And in the process of doing that, I ended up not giving up. Again, I pretty much forgot. But like I said, I pretty much relayed it in a way that I can remember. But in 2025, that's something I definitely want to get better about doing. I definitely want to get better at doing what needs to be done in real time, because I tend to procrastinate and forget. Like, there was a reel where a girl was about to make up her bed, but then she saw something on the bed, so she was taking it where it needed to go. So the bed never got made up. And then in taking out where it needed to go, she saw something else that was out of place. So she put the thing down and then picked up something else to put it where it needs to go. And then she had to circle back to the fact that, oh my God, the bed was never made up. And I'm that type of person. So it's like, I definitely have to get better at 2025 about doing things when they need to be done. Because like I said, even just for the purpose of the story making sense in real time, I got to get better at writing stuff down. That's something that God, is working on as well, from mind to actual pen, not just mind to actual digital. So that's something that I gotta tap into, because I'm so far out of this realm that at some time I do still have to be here to help it be better, because everybody needs to get back to writing, reading, especially Black people. Because, child, the fact that Black people couldn't even read a book at one point in time, please pick up a book. Just go to the library. You can rent them for free. It's free. Pick up a book, please. Okay. All right. So moving on, because I'm like, yeah, that was pretty much my in-house drama from today. So let's go ahead and get into my after Christmas family drama. So with my family, like I told y'all, my mom doesn't have a relationship at all with her mom. Let's just be honest. My mom's mom did not raise my mom. My mom's mom was essentially on drugs, from what I can now formulate as, being a 30-plus-year-old adult. I'm like, no one's ever come out and said like that's what my grandma does, but just kind of like just the way everyone acts around her, just the little things that I've seen, I'm almost certain it's crack. Okay, because it can't be coke. Because I dated somebody that did it, and I hated that. And see, the cokehead seem to be a little bit more rational than my grandma is. It seems like my grandma be doing stuff that got pipes, glass. I don't think she goes as far as needles, because I ain't never seen. I feel like she is, because she a Scorpio. She thinks she too cute for that, but think I think it's some glass pipes involved in her life from what I can see from my grandma. So that's Big Lord, and that's my girl, and I love her because that's my mama, and without her, I wouldn't be here. So I pray for her. I definitely do. So my grandma, a few years ago, decided that she was randomly going to leave her house here and go back to Chicago, live with her baby sisters, yeah, it's her baby sister that live with her husband, the other baby sister, and my great grandma, because one of the sisters take care of my great grandma and her baby sister. Well, no, her husband take care of all of them. Well, yeah, Uncle Rick is that nigga. Okay, so yeah, he taking care of them, and my grandma goes and trots her up there for somebody else's husband to take care of her, because apparently the story that she told the family in Chicago is that my granddaddy was basically trying to like take her life, and he was like being abusive to her and all this other kind of stuff, so she just basically needed to get away and not be around him. Now I didn't know that's why she left until literally the other day, because for whatever reason, like I said, she just literally got up and left. Prior to that, a few years ago, she was working, and she ended up injuring her hand. Injuring her hand on the job ended up giving her some money in a case. She blew through that money so fast. I'm my grandma granddaughter. I mean, money burns a hole in my girl pocket. The money gone. So I don't know, like what her working situation has been ever since then, but I know that it hasn't been what it was prior to her working. I think at this point, she literally just collects checks off the government, because, like I said, the money that she actually got from the settlement is blown through at this point. So at some point in time, she just randomly decides, like I said, that she's not going to live in the city anymore, and then she moves back to Chicago. She calls my cousin that she raised as her daughter, and that's another story time that we're going to get into, because that cousin, she is cool enough to actually come. She wants to talk about that whole story, and we want to put our pieces together. But apparently my grandma calls my cousin that she raised as her daughter and tells her that she needs to clean out my grandma's house, because basically my grandma's not coming back to the city anymore. She's staying in Chicago. So my grandma's been in Chicago prior to the pandemic at this point. My grandma was maybe even, no, when I was in the hospital, my grandma did live here. So like literally around the pandemic time, we'll say at least that's around the time that she moved to the Chicago. So for at least the past 4 years, she's been in Chicago. In my upbringing, I grew up with my grandma up until it got bad, and my mom was just like, this is everything that I never wanted you to be around. So now you're not really going around my mom anymore, because I tried to give her the opportunity to be a grandma and you not have to be introduced to the BS of your grandma. But you've seen a little glimpse. So from the time I was like 7, yeah, that was like the last time where I was like literally hanging out at my grandma's house on the weekends, like I was from childhood up until 7. So, because that was my grandma and my granddad ended up getting into a physical altercation. The cousin that my grandma raised as her child ended up having to jump in, so I ended up jumping in. And then from there, my mom was just like, never again, because I can't believe you had to deal with domestic violence from my mom. And like I said, just her, she knows that her, whatever they had to deal with my grandma, she knows what she had to deal with. Because like I said, her mama didn't even raise her. She was always gone, more than likely doing drugs. I don't even know if it was the drugs or if it was just the men. Because it just, now that I'm older, it has to be some drugs involved. It has to be drugs. Yeah. Because it can't just be liquor. Because even though my family got a bad liquor problem, it can't just be liquor. It has to be something more than that. So, like I said, ever since then, I'm not allowed. I wasn't just at my grandma's house like I was my daddy, mama house, who was saved, sanctified, filled with the Holy Ghost, her and, my papa over there, that whole side. Like, my mama know that she never had no issues on my daddy's side of the family, which is part of the reason why she married him from the get-go, because she was just like, yeah, this is a completely different environment from what her family had going on. So, again, from 7 up until at least now, I really don't spend like one-on-one time with my grandma. Like, we'll see each other every major holiday every 3 years. Like, we'll say one major holiday every 3 years, whether it's Christmas or Thanksgiving or Mother's Day, a birthday. It'll be like one thing out of every 3 years or something where I like see my grandma. But it's always like at an event, or like I said, just a celebratory something where we come together. And that's just pretty much what it's been. So with her being in Chicago, she definitely, hasn't really talked to, I would say, the grandkids, because like I'm the oldest grandkid, and I'm pretty sure she's not talking to the younger ones, and she don't ever call me. She don't call my mama. She probably talked to my mom's siblings, my auntie and my uncle, maybe once a month, and I feel like maybe she does pick up the phone and call them. I'm not really certain, because my mom and her mom's relationship has always been extremely rocky from the time that my grandma was 16 and got pregnant with my mom. I think it was definitely, I don't know, because like my mom said, just as tumultuous as her childhood would be, I'm like, I don't even think it's the fact that my mom actually made the way out of that, because if she had to deal with that as a child, I told my mom, I think it's just because my mom had to see my grandma through all the BS. Like, if no one got to see my grandma's BS, my mom got to see it, because she got pregnant at 16. So like like I said, the men, the drugs, whatever my grandma was doing, my mom as her child would have been somewhat privy to it, because this is, her mother. So Christmas comes, and my mom and my aunt are planning the Christmas party just like they did for Thanksgiving. But y'all know I skipped out on the Thanksgiving one, because we're in a spiritual rebirth, and we're healing from the generational trauma in the family, and the wounds and the mother wounds that everyone has and passed down and is still healing from. Like, we were getting to a really good point where everyone is letting their inner child heal. And then my grandma decides that she's coming out for Christmas. And it's like, we haven't heard from you in forever. What made you decide that you want to come down for Christmas? My discernment tells me it's because she was jealous that her sister is always at the functions, and everyone loves my grandma's sister. Like, we love my Auntie Nell anytime, because she's my great auntie, but it's just like anytime Auntie Nell is around, like, she's a vibe, she's a time. Like, my auntie she gonna turn up, she gonna party, even though she's a great auntie. Like, she at least 60 plus, but she's still a good time. So I'm thinking it's because my grandma got jealous that because my aunt is having, all these holiday events at her new house that she just got. Because my auntie had a house prior when her marriage, but she recently has gone through a divorce, upgraded her entire life, bigger and better, everything. Went from just a regular 1-story house, 2-story house, bigger house, better car, got a family pet now, better job. I mean, my auntie just upgraded her whole life. So I'm thinking because my grandma is jealous that my auntie is being invited and she's not. And also because, like I said, my grandma just randomly left and moved in with someone else's husband that he's already taken care of, his wife mama, his wife's sister, and then another sister's moving in. And then anytime we go home to Chicago, we stay with them. So it's like his house is a revolving door. It's literally like a Hilton hotel door. Okay. It's literally revolving. Okay. So I understand, the reasons that she may have had for coming down, but it was just like you weren't invited. Because again, especially with this being my golden year, and that's why I'm like, me being in spiritual rebirth, like I said, I even X'd out Thanksgiving because I'm still in a period of healing and I will not let y'all mess up the vibes. But with Christmas, I knew that it would be great for the content. I knew that I also wanted to see my family. I knew that I also wanted to introduce y'all on live stream to my family. So like I said, when I'm talking about them, y'all can go back to the live and then put faces with names, so that way, because like I said, I don't have time to be making up names and sending no, baby, it's real life. It's for entertainment purposes, but I mean, my life is a movie, so it is what it is. It just is what it is. So my grandma comes down from Chicago. Oh, now let's talk about it. So my grandma, like I said, leaves the city because she's claiming that my grandpa, he's my step grandpa, but that's the man that she's been married to since before I was even born. Because like I said, she got pregnant with my mom at 16. So my biological grandfather, would have been 16, 17, 18 years old. But my step grandfather, because my mom had me in her 20s, like I said, he was my grandma's husband since I was a kid. So I didn't even, child, when I had to realize how families work, because there's so many freaking people involved in my life. That's why I'm like, it's definitely a movie. But she claims that she went back home to Chicago because, again, he's trying to off her, he's abusing her, and she just really has to get away because if she doesn't, she's not going to be alive. So she's in her escape route to Chicago or whatever for years, like I said, and then she just randomly decides that she's coming down, like I said, because I'm thinking because she's just jealous that her sister, comes down and has a good time and is actually loved by the family and appreciated because her sister's the one that actually raised her kids. Now that I think about it, like legally, I'm like, now that I think about it, my mama's siblings are legally adopted by my grandma's sister, because my grandma always been missing in action. Girl, what is going on? Now that I'm thinking about, not that you just get older and put pieces together. Like, what are you talking about, lady? So yeah, comes back. But she's staying with my granddad, who's staying with his girlfriend, that's his assistant, in his daughter's house. So my grandma, her husband, his girlfriend, all live in her daughter-in-law's house, or all staying in his daughter-in-law's house for the weekend, for the Christmas, for the holiday, whatever the case may be. And I'm just like, girl, you wanted to come here that bad that you are staying with the man that you claim you ran away from. What is going on here? Because I think she was thinking like, maybe my mom was gonna open up, her house to her because my mom has a guest room or a spare room. I think she thought maybe my aunt was going to be like, okay, well, mama, you can stay with me. I don't think she really had that expectation for my uncle, because my uncle has a wife and other kids and stuff like that, versus my grandma, her kids home. I guess she felt like she would have some right to. But no, they didn't open up their door to her. So she ended up staying with the person that she claims is trying to take her life and his girlfriend. And I'm just like, lady, are you crazy? So she pulls up to my auntie's house in an Uber. So much to the point where nobody even wanted to come and get her. And it's just like, at that point, you really didn't think like, let me just not go. And it was crazy because my cousin, my cousin that got raised by my grandma, like she was my grandma's daughter, told me the daughter-in-law was like, she was gonna come to our family party because she was gonna go to Tampa to see her family, where my step granddaddy is from. But she was like, she is not leaving my grandma in her house by herself. So she was like, I'm coming to y'all party. Because she was like, I'm not leaving her. I'm not leaving her. Luckily, that girl did not come to our holiday party, because that would have been really weird. Even though we've known Aunt Doll like my whole entire life. But no, just because, no, like, I get it, but no. And it's just like, that's how you know it's bad, when someone says like, I don't even want you to be in my home when I'm not here, because I know who you are. So my grandma pulls up in her Uber. First thing I'm thinking is, where did she get Uber money from? Like, Uber money? First of all, you done already caught a plane here, which means I'm assuming you're going to catch a plane back. Even if it's a train, whatever the case may be, you have the funds to make it happen, okay? So you pull up in an Uber, and that's more funds. Not only do you pull up in an Uber, you pull up Michael Kors scarf and hat set, Tiffany necklace and earring set, face beat. I'm trying to figure out who did her face. I'm like, girl, I don't even wear makeup. Like, did you do this? Did you pay somebody to do this? Because I'm like, girl, if you could, well, she could draw, so she probably can. She probably did her own makeup, but it looked good. Especially for her to be over 60. The makeup looked good. Like, look at the live replay. I'm just like, okay, Big Glow. Big Glow the Scorpio. Because I'm just like, I was expecting her to look very regular. She came like she was a staple. I mean, she, yeah. Definitely something for years, but I'm just like, So, she's at the Christmas party. I'm on live, because you can even look at my live replay. Well, I'm like, girl, what jewelry you gonna give me? Because I'm looking at diamond earrings. Like I said, Tiffany necklace and earring set, Michael Kors. I'm like, girl, which one is, like, what am I getting? Because you come in here dripping, but the gift's not dripping. You come in here with Miss Big Papa all your on, but these cars empty. I mean, they real personalized. But girl, if you got the money and we ain't synced you and you done popped up at our party, ruining the vibe, being a buzzkill, like I said, I don't care if she gave us the amount of our age. I would have accepted my $32 because you ain't seen no birthday, ain't seen Chris. And then I'm like, girl, and then you supposed to be a Jehovah's Witness and claim you never even celebrate Christmas. You love to say you don't celebrate a holiday until you're supposed to get a gift for it. Like your birthday or Mother's Day or apparently Christmas, because you passing out cards and stuff. And coming to the Christmas parties. So, the day after the Christmas party, my cousin that was being raised as my grandma's daughter calls and says, cousin, what jewelry does your grandma have on? So I'm like explaining, like I said, just basically the same thing I just told y'all. And I'm like, wow. She like, why TT Kim just called me asking me, did mama have on some gold studs, and a matching necklace or something like that. And I'm like, what? I'm like, so she think grandma stole it or something? And I'm like, why would they think that? And she like, well, it ain't TT Kim's, it's great grandma's. And I'm like, is great grandma jewelry? She like, yeah. They calling me and asking me because great grandma looking for her jewelry. She can't find it. And Big Glow gone all the way to Florida. Nah. I don't know if my grandma was still her mama jewelry. Jewelry, I think, is a strange thing for my grandma to take just because she gets jewelry. She had on diamond earrings. She had Michael Kors. She getting a check from somewhere. So, I mean, even like I said, the husband that she has not divorced still buys her jewelry. That's why I take it, because I know it gets replaced. That's why that's me and my grandma thing, is the jewelry. We've been like that since I used to hang out at her house when I was allowed to in my childhood. She would take me to the jewelry store and I would get gold bangles. I would get gold earrings. I would always get gold jewelry. And that's what also was a red flag for me too, because I'm like, she doesn't really wear gold jewelry. All of her jewelry is silver. Everything that she, I'm even looking at the live replay. I'm just like, what is that on? Because I know she ain't still my great grandma jewelry. But I'm like, no, everything she had on was silver. Because I'm like, even from what I remember, I'm like, I remember the diamonds. I remember the Tiffany. I'm like, I remember her having on gold. Everything was black, silver, red, white. Yeah, literally everything. So that's why I'm just like, I hate that something like this would happen after she leaves. But unfortunately, it's in typical fashion for Big Glow to behave as such. Like I said, given her history, I understand why she is prime suspect, but I just don't feel like there's enough evidence to incriminate her. Just because she's not there and is missing. I hope they find it. I really hope she did not touch them people's stuff, take them people's stuff. Like, oh my God. Only reason why I would say she wouldn't is because she has to go back there. Like, where else is she gonna live? I guess is she gonna live with her husband and his girlfriend and her daughter-in-law? Because I'm like, where would she live? Because they try to put my grandma in a senior citizens home, which I feel like they should, because you can't live with somebody else's husband that's like not your kid's husband. Like, this is your sister's husband. This is, back it up, baby. He already got another sister and the mama-in-law there. You skedaddling your way from another state to live in his house. And then they don't want her there. And then I'm like, why wouldn't y'all just call her? All this calling around the family, like, have you seen the jewelry? Have you seen the jewelry? Have you seen the jewelry? Why don't you just tell her, hey, Glow, we got an issue because you done fled the city and so has Mama Jewelry. What's so hard about that? But there is a strong chance that most of the time when you ask people, they will lie. So what's she gonna say? Yeah, I took it. So I guess that's why there's no point in calling her. But I would tell her that, you know, it's being said in the family that when you went to Florida for Christmas, Mama Jewelry went missing and you are the prime suspect. So I just want you to know that, because like I said, this is my grandma. So I don't like it just being the calls around, because even the fact that it got to me, I'm like, oh my God. Like I said, because I'm all on live. Oh, I love your jewelry. Then everybody calling me like, what jewelry she had on? Because it's missing. And I'm just like, no, that's not what I was expecting to happen. But because it did, and I'm so spiritual, that's the part of me that makes me believe she did take it. But like I said, jewelry is my thing with my grandma. Like I said, she's always got me jewelry. So that's the one thing that I'm always be with her on, is the jewelry. I'm like that with both my grandmas. Like, baby, when you die in the will, make sure I get the jewelry, okay? Because, like, they be rocking the rings, the necklaces, the earrings, the diamonds. Like, leave me the jewels. Y'all say I'm rocking Shein rings, okay? And do, but still, I just, like I said, the spiritual, my gut is telling me yes. My mind is telling me no. My instinct is telling me yes. And the only reason why my mind is telling me no is because I can't find a reason why she would take it, but I also can't find a reason why it would be gone. Because I'm like, well, when is the last time my great-grandma put on this jewelry that she would think that my grandma stole jewelry from her? And like my cousin said, she wouldn't be able to, like, pawn it or anything like that. But it's just like, what little money would you get from pawn? When she's getting checks, she's getting Michael Kors, she's getting diamond earrings, like, stealing. I mean, like I said, her jewelry is silver, and gold is worth more than silver because you can melt it down and such. But I just don't see my great grandma having no jewelry that's just like worth my grandma taking it to do something. Like, what y'all think? What y'all think? What would you do? What would you do if you were me? Because I'm like, how do I address this? Because I'm like, especially with my grandma. Because, like, I'm like, this is between my grandma, my great grandma. I'm like, my great aunties in this, my cousins that are younger than me. Well, at least one of them, the one that was, you know, raised as my grandma's child, is now in this. My mama done kind of inserted herself into this a little bit because she know that my cousin called. Oh, and then my auntie that called my cousin called my mom, and that's my mom that she know. So yeah, at this point, my mom is in it, and it's just like, what is this gonna look like when my grandma goes back to Chicago? Cause see, my family is the type to be so messy to like not say anything to her about it, but just like let her be in uncomfortable positions of like everyone around her knowing that everybody in the family feel like you took great grandma jewelry. I just don't want to believe that she has an addiction that bad that it would just make her take her mama jewelry. That's all. That's all. That's literally it. Cause I'm just like, it's always something. Like it's always like that's very, very ghetto of just I'm really just looking at it like they really think my grandma took her mama necklace and earring set. Necklace and earring set. But I'm like, I don't even know where she would put it in travel. That's what I'm saying. Like, we have no way of figuring this out. We have no solid proof. We have nothing to go off of besides the fact that the jewelry is gone and my grandma is gone. So everybody done made the math for what they wanted to be. For what they wanted to be. Because I'm like, where would my great grandma have put this jewelry that my grandma went and got it? When is the last time that my great grandma wore this jewelry? When is the last time my great grandma saw the jewelry? See, that's why I would want to call my grandma and my great grandma. Because we got some, hey, nah. When the last time you saw this jewelry, ma'am? The Thursday before the Friday that she left, then I'd be like, oh, hold on now. Now, it'd be one thing if you said it's been, you know, months, years, whatever the case may be. Like, it's been a minute since you've seen the jewelry. But if it's been recent since you've seen the jewelry, then, like, now it's gone, red flag. Maybe that's why God wanted me to wear my red merch today. Shop now, www.CuratedByKD.com. Shop Curated by KD, baby. But yeah, shameless plug. Because I'm like, now that would be the red flag. That would definitely be the red flag. But I don't know what that woman would really, like, do. Just the fact that my grandma is even in a suspect challenge just really, you know, really gets me going. So it's just kind of like, suspect left for Florida on Friday, and then Saturday, suspect's mom realized the jewelry is missing. Like, I cannot believe my grandma that's over 60. Yeah, because her mama over 80. Her mama at least 85, 86, and they at least 16 years apart with them just having babies. just having babies, okay? That's why she don't know who the daddies is. Lord of mercy. That's why I said the family is healing. That's why I'm like, baby, the family is in the process of healing. Like, we have generations of women that don't know who the father of their children is. I'm telling you. Like, I for real want to know who my grandma's daddy is. I think they'll pretend to know. Even if they pretend to know, I don't think they have a relationship with any of them, any of the men. Even if they say that they have a name because it's something that my great grandma told them, I don't think that they've seen them past childhood. I would definitely not say in adulthood, and like I would say rarely in childhood. Like, yeah, my grandma and her sisters are really get too drunk on a bad night and start crying about the fact that, they really don't know who their daddy is. Cause my great grandma must have been laying low and spreading it wide. Shoot, my grandma playing games about who all of her children's fathers were. I'm about to say parents, but I'm like, no, she knows she the mama. But like recently, a few years ago, this was during the pandemic where my grandma told them, oh, your dad is not your dad, and gave them a whole other people. Like, it was so messy that my mom had to do a DNA test. That man was not the man that my grandma randomly said was my mom's dad, because the man that we've always known was not her dad. Child, they went and did DNA test that man. I'm like, why would you even tell her that this man, out of all these years, now it's, oh, that's not your dad, this is your dad? Then my mom go doing the test. It's like, no, it's not. What made you just come out and say that? Like, what is wrong with you? What like, why do you feel the need to keep traumatizing these kids? And that's something like, you gotta be drugs, because who just randomly says like, oh, this is not your dad is such and such? Like, okay, I get it that you had kids that, 16, 18, maybe like 16, 20. We'll say between 16 and 25. Maybe 16 and 20. Yeah, we'll say like 20. I think my mama and auntie are like 7 years apart. I don't know. I really don't know. My auntie born in the 80s, I can say that. But she could be born in like, she might be born in like 85. I don't know, okay? All I know is that, like I said, these people are definitely healing from trauma. Because I'm just having to think about the fact that my grandma was with people that were touching on the children, or at least a child, growing up. So it's trauma, because I'm like, how many of those women, and I'm almost certain that they were inappropriately touched or something. And I'm talking about like my grandma, her sisters. Like, if it trickled down to like my mom's generation of where children were being touched, I'm almost certain it got to, my grandma's generation. And that's why they were super adamant, at least my mom was, about me not being touched in schools, even good touch, bad touch. And we had programs there, like we really had some programs to make children aware, and I can appreciate those programs now being an adult. I really can. So, like I said, just my grandma coming down here, just people already healing from trauma, and then you bring BS with you. Like I said, her already coming was just like, who invited you? And then for the calls to be, well, where's the jewelry? We haven't seen the jewelry. The jewelry's missing. Big Glow is gone. The jewelry's gone. Oh my goodness. What are we going to do? What is this family going to do? What is this family going to do? Pray for us. That's really all I can say. Try. Maybe I don't even need y'all to pray for us. I'm gonna keep working on it. That's all God says. I got to keep working on it. That's why I am in my spiritual rebirth. So that way, once I get this last little key to unlock the door to the family secrets, then I could just live life as the person that continuously slays the beast and whatever the case may be when it comes to family triggers and trauma and whatever may be stirred up in the pot of life, maybe brewing up in the cauldron of life, whatever the case may be, because God bless his family. We need it. I'm glad if, I won't say no one's doing the work. They're doing the work in the 3D. I'm the only one that's doing the work in the other realm of life, the 5D and the other dimensions of life. I heard it's like 11 or 13 or something like that. It might be 13, whatever the case may be. But I know I think I might be past 5, because when I got to 5, I was like, oh yeah, I'm definitely past this stage. Might be like at 6 or 7. Like I said, like, child, I got like 9 lives, child. I'm on like 9, 6 or 7. So 9. I'm on like life 6 or 7. So yeah, whatever dimension it is, I'm definitely in the collective spiritual aspect of changing things, not just in the physical of the 3D aspect of life. So like I said, I'm just going to continue to do the work in hopes that my work will not be done in vain. Everything will come to light, and literally light will be radiating, not just off of me, but off my family, because everyone will be whole, healed, healthy, joyful, full of joy, full of blessings and abundance running over, being in a state of love and confidence, and with all success spiritually and in the 3D of life. All of that, all of that, all of that, all of that, all of that. I'm like, because these poor babies. And that's why I'm realizing the grandma is the baby, because my grandma definitely the baby. Because I'm like, this is part of the reason why I don't want to have kids, because I'm like, I'm still raising adults that think they're grown. I don't know why they think they're grown, because they need to be children of God, okay? That's all I need them to be, is children of God, so they can continuously be better each and every day. Because other than that, they're going to be making my job harder. And that's why I said I had to skip out on Thanksgiving, because, again, collectively, the mission is bigger than me. And I got to let everybody know I'm standing on business. I'm not playing. I ain't playing about what it is and what it shall be for the future. So yeah, let me know what y'all think. What do y'all think? I'm like, do y'all think she did it? Do we have enough evidence to go off of to say that she did it? Or are we just hoping that they're misplaced and they come up? Because I'm like, I'm really hoping they do, because I do not want my girl to be the culprit. Excuse me. So yeah, let's go ahead and end this live by saying our Course in Miracles, not only because we believe in it, but because we know that it works. And we know that our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. As we ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightening about shrinking so that others won't feel insecure around you, as we are all meant to shine as God's children do. We are born to make manifest the glory of God within us. And it's not just in some of us, it's in each and every one of us. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give others permission to do the same. And as we are liberated from our own fears, our presence automatically liberates others. And with that being said, be good, be great, look good, don't hate. Spread love, because that's what a real mobs do. And keep it gangster. Look out for your people, because that's what real gangsters do, okay? So until next time, be sure that you like, share, subscribe. Tell all your friends so they can tune in live daily to God and KD. That being me, your divine cosmic cousin, divine cosmic cheerleader, all things divine, okay? Like I said, until next time, make sure that you like, share, subscribe. And I'm just here to tell you, okay? Because if nobody told you, God wants you to know that he loves you. Not only does God love you, Jesus loves you. Not only does Jesus love you, I love you if you love them. Guess what? In turn, you'll love yourself. It will be 4 people that love you as long as you tune in and tap into God. Let Jesus lead you there, all right? I'll lead you to Jesus. Jesus leads you to God. God will make you over. Boom. We'll squad up with anybody that got beef with you, baby. And we only got beef with the devil because everybody, like, God just trying to get him to come back to the fold and be the child of God that he's supposed to be too, child. So, yeah, once that's all done, we can wrap this party up. Good to go. So, yeah. Till next time, y'all. Toodles. I'm like, pretend like my theme song music is out here.